SkiMum here. We're hiking up Mount Joseph in Wallowa County, Oregon.
Chief Joseph Mountain is located 5 miles south of Joseph, Oregon, in the Wallowa Mountains.
Today's objective, Chief Joseph Mountain. Let's say about 9,500 feet.
More accurately, the summit of Chief Joseph is 9,616 feet.
Okay, what's the goal for this big steep hike, Dave?
Well, we're going to try and get up on top of Chief Joseph Mountain. I think it's about 9,500 feet, maybe 96.
And what's the hiking pace?
Slow, like molasses, slow.
He promises. The hike begins at the marina at 4,200 feet.
The summit rises over 5,200 feet above the lake in approximately 3 miles and is set in the Eagle Cap Wilderness.
This sign saying that we're in the Eagle Cap Wilderness.
This public land is managed by Wallowa National Forest. The peak ranks as the 14th highest summit in Oregon and the 8th highest in the Wallowa Mountains. The Wallowa Mountain Range is located in the Columbia Plateau of northeastern Oregon in the United States. This range runs approximately 40 miles northwest to southeast in southwestern Wallowa County and eastern Union County.
Walking. Up.
With the Blue Mountains lying to the west and the Snake River lying to the east, this range is often referred to as an island. Also to be considered the eastern spur of the Blue Mountains. This is known as the Alps of Oregon. Much of the range is designated as the Eagle Cap Wilderness, part of the Wallowa National Forest. Sacagawea is the highest peak of the Wallowa Mountains, is connected to Chief Joseph Mountain by the parent peak, the Herwall Divide, which is 9,776 feet.
Hi. Got the tram over there and Chief Joseph up there. That's how steep it is. Here I come, coming in hot. Oh.
In 1925, Chief Joseph Mountain was named in honor of Chief Joseph.
And action.
Okay, we're on the Chief Joseph Trail, and now we're at the intersection where we head up to the climbing gully part of getting up on the top of the ridgeline that will take us to the summit of Chief Joseph. That is the trajectory, summit of Chief Joseph. Here is a nice looking switchback, and when you reach this switchback, you know that you're coming to the tree that has an arrow. You want to look for this tree that has an arrow because it points the right way, looks different than the map.
Action.
Well, here's the arrow on the tree, and this will make you realize you got to start looking, because as you can see, this trail looks like it keeps going straight. I don't know where that goes, but this is the switchback that you want if you want to get the climbing gully to get to the top of Chief Joseph. Action.
Okay, here's where we go up. It should take about an hour, maybe a little bit more, to get to the ridge that goes to the summit. Ready? Go!
Remember, he promised me slow and easy? Well, I'm really glad, because this hike is very
Steep. Steep and steeper.
steep, and slow and easy is the way to go. In fact, this hike is described as a scramble.
Gets a little steep right here. It's like steep the whole way. It's like so steep. Everything about it is steep.
the summit log, most descents occur during the summer months, July through September. We are taking this hike in October. Good weather and beautiful views. Leaves are changing.
Here. So, it's steep. There are some steep parts. Hi. Beautiful view.
Strava describes Chief Joseph Mountain as an adventurous peak climb to a prominent mountain looming over Wallowa Lake.
It's hard AF. Gotta keep your head up. You gotta look up. Look up. Farther, Wachs. How much farther?
Oh, the ridge, it's right here.
Further description describes it as an extreme hike, scrambling up mountains and along technical trails with moderate fall exposure. Handholds are necessary, and the grades can be very near, often vertical. The challenge of the trail and the steepness of the grade results in very strenuous hiking. Hikes of this difficulty blur the lines between hiking and climbing.
Where's the ridge?
Right here.
I don't know. Should I believe him? Oh. Yeah, let's zoom out. Oh. Hey, look at all that out there.
Once up this chute, it's a direct ascent along the ridge line to the summit.
That was quite an undertaking, that gully. Now we're supposed to be on the ridge, and it's absolutely stunning. Wow. Wow. Still steep.
Once you top out on the ridge, turn right and follow the ridge toward the summit.
Because Chief Joseph was like, yeah, I'll climb up there. And it's the hardest one. It's really hard. A video cannot do it justice. There's no way. Artist and outdoorsman David Wachs.
A painting describes a landscape much better. An artist and outdoorsman, David Wachs, does high desert and high alpine paintings. He has to have visited the places before he will paint them. Today's adventure is research. Chief Joseph Mountain is the northern extent of a ridge which includes Herwall Divide and continues southerly towards Sacagawea Peak and the Matterhorn further southeast. This is the high ridge of the Wallowa Mountains, with Sacagawea, Matterhorn, and Herwall all topping 9,700 feet.
This is called Heather. I always think of my friend Heather because I met her in 5th grade, and when I came back out west, I'd see Heather, and I think of my friend Heather. Hi, Heather. She's a nice person. Here's a little town.
Once on the ridge, you have to remain aware and cautious of the extreme fall exposure as you ascend to the ridge. There's a significant rock outcrop which requires you to pass high on the left around the rock. You have to find your own trail and make your own.
What is that?
That's the Herwall Divide. It goes around to Sacagawea and the Matterhorn.
The views up here are absolutely breathtaking. The different rock formations and colors are amazing. Take time to take in the view, but also be really aware of the trail choice that you're making, because if you put yourself in the wrong spot on the right side of the outcropping, you could end up over a significant 1,500-foot drop, and you want to avoid that.
It's not an easy hike. I wouldn't call it a hike. I'd call it a climb. It's not easy, but it is beautiful. It's about noon right now. It's fall. And so we started, I don't know, 7-ish. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll make it down before dark. We'll see. It's very pretty though. Wow. There's the town out there. I bet this is one of Chief Joseph's favorites. I bet he was pretty peaceful and cool. And the McCulleys too. The McCulleys were his friends. I wonder what the history was there. Because he came back and there's a grave here for him. So I bet they all figured out how to get along. And the McCulleys were so cool that they named the town after Joseph. Love the whales. That's my message. Howdy, sir. Artist and outdoorsman, David Wachs. Oh, scary, scary, scary exposure. Don't look down there. It's so pretty. Ah, probably great at skiing.
And action!
I'm so glad I'm here. This is amazing. Not to the summit yet, but made this far. And look at the beautiful views.
The bulk of the mountain is a complex geology of Mesozoic granodiorite of the Wallowa batholith, limestone, greenstone, and a small relic summit cap composed of Columbia River basalt.
Wow, this is really awesome. It's kind of hard to find the trail. You have to kind of find it yourself.
Significant concentrations of silver have been found in quartz veins on Chief Joseph Mountain. Many mining prospects are scattered throughout the Wallowas, both inside and outside the Eagle Cap Wilderness boundary. Sometimes when you're hiking, you'll come upon these. David has stumbled upon a few of these in his adventures in these Wallowa Mountains this past year, looking for things to paint. The Wallowa Mountains are dotted with numerous mining prospects, most of which were more active earlier this century. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, several mines were operating in the Wallowas as well as the Greenhorn and Elkhorn ranges to the west. The Cornucopia mining district in the southern Wallowas produced more than $15 million worth of gold in the 1930s and 40s. Gold, silver, and copper were the primary minerals mined in the Wallowas, though marble and limestone have also been mined in the region as well. Copper minerals have also been found disseminated in the limey beds of the Hurwall Formation. Copper is the most abundant metal found in the area, with significant concentrations occurring in the Wallow Lake Basin, Macaulay Basin, Copper Creek Basin, and near Hawkins Pass. Wallowa Lake in Oregon was formed by glaciers that advanced and retreated over millions of years, carving valleys and depositing rocks and sediment that created a dam. The glaciers carved valleys as they moved. As the glaciers advanced and retreated, they deposited rocks and sediment, forming twin and terminal moraines that rise above the lake. One glacier carved a deep path that trapped water, forming Wallowa Lake. Wallowa Lake is a ribbon lake that's 1 mile wide and 5 miles long. It's located at an elevation of 4,372 feet.
All right, well, we got an alpine start, had some coffee in the morning, but didn't leave before daylight, and it's fall, so really there's not enough time to get all the way up there. That's the true summit of Mount Joseph. So we're going to call it here good so we can walk down still in the daylight and be smart about our travels.
You can see the true summit behind me, and this small relict summit cap is composed of Columbia River basalt. The fascination with this Columbia River basalt is that it is considered a flood basalt. It erupted in such large volumes that it produced floods of molten rock that in time covered hundreds of square miles of the inland Northwest. The lavas blanket much of central and eastern Washington and northern Oregon, forming what is known as the Columbia Plateau. This true summit is a little over a mile's walk further and about 200 more feet of elevation gain.
So beautiful. This is like one of Wachs' paintings, this right here. Those colors. That one's sold.
David created 50 plus works spending his year here in Joseph, Oregon, and he thoroughly enjoyed it, hiking and skiing these mountains.
Skied these lines, huh? Dropped right in there. I can't even see it. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. Maybe over there you can get a kind of an idea.
This relict summit stands alone, part of the past, this Columbia basalt. Relict means like a relic, a last remaining portion of an old mountain, an older crust layer still remaining, while the rest of it has been eroded away by weather. Speaking of which, the snowfall here in the Wallowas. Direct snowfall data for the Wallowas is limited as there are no year-round weather stations in the higher parts of the range. Seasonal snowpack is measured periodically in winter and spring manually for the purpose of irrigation for the crops in the valley below. Based on these estimations, the highest peaks in the Wallowas above 9,000 feet may receive 400 inches of snow a year, while the rest of the range, about 6,000 to 8,000 feet, averages between 200 to 300 inches of annual snowfall. 5,000 to 6,000 feet, about 100 to 200 inches.
Yeah.
Back. Ah, look over there. Look over there. Back. Don't fall down there. Now we're like 1/3 of the way. 2/5 of the way. We're not really halfway because we're going down, but you gotta keep your wits about you. Watch out for rolling rock. And trail finding is tricky.
There really is no set trail. You have to create the trail yourself.
Methodically picking.
Down.
Oh, okay. Thinking this way. This is what I was thinking. Path of least resistance. Is this the way, Wachs?
I believe it is.
This is the way. The only places that we showed you of me walking on the flat, those were the only places that was flat, like maybe a whole of a quarter of a mile there was anything flat. The rest of it was just steep, like this. Nice flat section.
More like an eighth of a mile, maybe an eighth of a mile was flat. The rest was steep. But as you can see, if you're a skier with a proper snowpack, this would be a marvelous place to ski, right above the Wallowa Lake. Beautiful views and excellent ski lines.
Here I come. Are you a runner and you're interested in a skimo racing? Well, you should come to Mount Bachelor and do the Ride in 5. Give yourself a week of vacation in January and February and learn how to ski downhill. You do 5 lessons, 5 rentals, 5 lift tickets, and then you have a season's pass and you have a good idea of how to ski downhill, because you got to learn how to ski downhill before you can go uphill.
Situation where I was tumbling like an Easter egg or something, you know, so I made a hard right over here.
Popped out in the snow with your skis on.
Safety of the bushes.
Safety
is what
of
they
the
call
bushes.
that.
Yes.
You know, like silence of the lambs except safety of the bushes. And then I was in it, a million turns all the way to the bottom. There we go. See ya.
Perfect drift on the perfect day. That's exposure right there. That's gnar fun. Woo! Look at that!
Hey!
Silly face. Bye. Bye, Upper Valley. Round the corner and down the chute. Woo! Okay. I'm gonna go down the chute here. Looking around. This is the last bit of walking. From here on out, it's all. Gets a little steep right here. It's like steep the whole way. It's like so steep. Everything about it is steep. And beautiful. Hi. Much easier with skis on. In the snow. Be magnetic. Be magnetic. Be magnetic.
Some bad camera work there, sorry.
Speed flip. Speed flip. I changed my socks because they were full of dirt, and now I have happy feet.
Action.
Okay, so we've come down off of Joseph Mountain. It's been fantastic. And now we're just going to take a quick little run up to the Joseph's Knob. Just kidding. We're going down to the bottom. It was great.
Ready? Yeah.
Gets a little steep right here.
I just about the running because we saw several runners. There are several people who like to run this mountain.
It's like steep the whole way. It's like so steep. Everything about it is steep.
Not being a runner myself, but being a skier, I do appreciate this as we like to hike up things in the wintertime and ski down. The access is a lot easier on skis than you would imagine. There is a race series called SkiMo where people race as quickly as they can up the mountain on skis in order to ski down again. Of course, this requires quite a bit of fitness to be able to race up a hill on skis. And also, it does require you to know how to ski downhill before partaking in this. But I imagine a lot of these runners might do this or be interested in it. For us, we take our time skiing up the mountain, backcountry skiing, in order to find great ski lines and enjoy the beauty and ski down again. It's much easier than walking downhill, I must say.
For clowns. Clowns.
Whoa, good save, good catch.
Clams.
You get no thrill from hiking.
I got a little bit of a thrill.
That was
There,
thrilling.
thrill.
Yeah, I'll try to keep up. Getting beautiful. It's so steep. Gets a little steep right here. It's like steep the whole way. It's like so steep. Everything about it is steep. And beautiful. It's so steep. In fact, the only places that we showed you of me walking on the flat, those were the only places that was flat. Like maybe a whole of a quarter of a mile there was anything flat. The rest of it was just steep. Yes.
Eighth of a mile of it was flat, maybe.
Fantastic. What an absolutely beautiful place. What did you say?
I said it's more, that's steeper than Jackson Hole. Like, apart from the mangy moose.
It's 3 miles one way up.
3 miles one way, 4,800 vertical or something like that.
So that day today was 6 miles.
Yeah, 6 mile round trip.
There were a few steep parts.
Yeah. Steep. Help me, I need help. I need ski poles.
Good shoes.
Good shoes.
Plenty of time.
And stretchy pants. Stretch.
The end.
Chief Joseph Mountain is significant as the summit rises over 5,200 feet above the lake in approximately 3 miles. Clearly, this adventure requires a nice Epsom salt bath in our sweet little cabin.
I like those small water heaters, so it's not enough to take a proper bath. So I'm going to boil my giant pot of water, and I'm going to fill the bath, bring it in to the bathroom, put on something so it doesn't burn the floor. Then I'll fill the tub with as much hot water as there is available to me in the tiny hot water heater. And then I'll get in, and then at some point I'll add the boiling water. It'll be an Epsom salt bath. I can't wait. We're hiking up Mount Joseph in Wallowa. We're hiking up Mount Joseph in Wallowa County, Oregon.
We hope you enjoyed this adventure with us. If you did, you can check out more adventures on our Facebook, Dave Wachs, or Instagram at DaveWachs50, or SkiMum.com, or Instagram at SkiMum. You can also check out more of David's work at WachsStudio.com. WachsStudio.com. Over and out.
Action!
All right, when you hike, you want to strike with your heel. You want your heel under your bottom, under your gut, under your shoulders, under your head. You want to keep your head up. This does 2 things. Keeps you attached to the snow surface so you don't slide backwards. And it also keeps you from getting like bad posture. We're in this for the longevity. It doesn't matter how fast you go. Stand up, look up. It's an allegory for life. Where are you going? I'm going up there. Whoop, slip.